Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? All right, y'all. We in this piece. What's good? All right, y'all. We in this piece. What's good? All right, check it out. Check it out. Just let me see. All right, these TikToks look good. I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to get
And he
this
goes,
all
"No,
dialed
son,
in.
just puff, puff, pass." And I go, "I know, I just puff, puffed. Now I'm going to pass it." He goes, "You've been smoking that shit for 15 minutes."
All right, we're chilling.
I go, "I have?"
Check, check, check. Mic check. Check, 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 check. Properties. Yo, what's good, TikTok? Um,
Realtek audio USB. Check, check, check. All right, I like this. This is better. Um, how am I sounding? How am I sounding? Check. How am I sounding? All right, I'm with it. All right, y'all. Up first on the
He
Hooligans
goes, "Yeah, and you have
Podcast.
both." And I was like, "I
Bet,
do?"
bet, bet. Up first on the Hooligans Podcast, we're gonna go ahead and get into our pop culture section. Um, we need to talk about this Fannie Willis story. So, do you guys know Fannie Willis? I think she is the what's it called? She is the lawyer of I forget who, but let's check this out, man. Let's check this out. How you guys doing over on IG, man? We're about to have a dope stream. Pop culture section. Oh. One time, one time. She's the what's it called? Check, check, check. All right. Hey, yo, how's the volume? Yo, what's good, creepy? What's good, creepy? We got creepy in the chat. What's good? What's good? All right, y'all. We got to talk about this Fannie Willis story. Fannie Willis. Um, hold on. Let's see if TikTok has it because I think I'm can't find it. All right, this is 23 hours ago, y'all.
Fannie Willis has finally responded to the cell phone data release by special investigator, which unequivocally proves putting the two of them together prior to what they said under oath that they had a relationship together. And now Fannie Willis claims.
Here we go. Yo, that was the first one. Fannie Willis explained, bro. I'm like, yo, what's going on? All right, let's see. Let's see.
Even if we assume that Fani Willis is not telling us the whole truth, and somehow, when she was leading one of the most complicated cases in American history and trying to bring justice to America's most notorious criminal and save our country, and as a single black woman is suddenly
Fannie got laid, Wade got paid, while the taxpayers got played. Now
Yo, does
she's
anyone
behind
know
a
what's going on
pulpit
with this Fannie
receiving an
Willis stuff?
award in church. Pretty much
How's the
sums up
volume, y'all?
everything
How's
you
the
need to know
volume?
about the church she attends. Play the clip.
The scripture they keep sending me is no weapon formed against you shall prosper. I need y'all to hear me though. They did not say the weapons will not form. And that's the part I didn't hear until recently. Just because they won't prosper, it doesn't mean that they won't form. Even if you feel like every
Yo, I need someone to whoa. I need someone to explain what is exactly going on, yo. Like,
I'm not a lawyer, but I have got to do a recap on the hearing for Fonnie Willis today because, y'all, it is crazy. If you need the full background on what this hearing was about, what's being alleged in the motion, and everything surrounding this, you have to go watch my other videos because I'm only going to do a quick and dirty version in this video to get you caught up. Okay, so here we go. This is Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis. She is the reason Donald Trump and his 18 co-conspirators are facing RICO charges in the state of Georgia. Now, attorneys for Trump and those co-conspirators filed a motion for Fonnie Willis and her office to be removed from this case because, according to them, she is benefiting financially from the romantic relationship that she has with the lead prosecutor on the case. His name is Nathan Wade. In layman's terms, they're basically saying that Fonnie hired her boyfriend, and as boyfriends do, Nathan has taken her to dinner and taken her on trips. But the problem, according to the defense...
yo, are y'all following up with this? Yo, what's up, Jennifer? What's up, Jennifer? Welcome to the Hoolagans Podcast. How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Attorneys is that the money he's using to fund those dinners and those trips is coming from the paycheck he gets from working on this case. And that would mean that she is indirectly benefiting from this case. And that would be a conflict of interest. And so they say she...
Okay, so they're saying that this girl, Fanny, hired this guy right here to be on the case, but he's using the money he's making from the case to take her out and date her? I don't know what's going on, man. Hey, what's good, Priscilla? Shout outs to Priscilla. We got the hooligans in the chat.
Okay, so regardless of all of the drama and the mess, because it's messy, involved in this situation, what really matters and what the defense attorneys are trying to get at and prove to the judge comes down to two things. Number one, what is the timeline of the romantic relationship between Fonnie and Nathan? Fonnie and Nathan say that they started dating in early 2002, but the defense attorneys say that they started dating in October of 2000.
And so this, yo, shout outs to K. We got Special K in the building. Yo, this lady is related to, she's on the Trump. I thought this was pop culture, but apparently she's on the Trump case, I think. Let's see.
Today, I've got two videos. So I've got this leaked audio between a whistleblower in Fannie Willis's camp in her district attorney's office, and also a video that I'm going to show right now. Congressman Jim Jordan from Ohio talks about, at the CPAC conference, he talks about how he reached out and he was able to subpoena Fonnie Willis, and he has this whistleblower, which we're going to reveal some amazing interview talking about Fannie Willis and who they have and who they've subpoenaed.
I thought it was a skit, but I think it
I did
actually
too.
was real life.
It was real.
We said
federal funds and not following the grant.
I need the Fannie Willis story explained quickly, man.
Ms. Willis, how did you know to come into the courtroom right then? There were people, I was pacing in my office. Okay. And I heard someone yell, his testimony is done. It only made sense to me that I would be your next witness. And I've been very anxious to have this conversation with you today.
Hey, yo, how do y'all like the format of the video? Is it chilling?
I ran to the courtroom.
So as soon as you heard that Mr. Wade was done testifying, that's when you just assumed you would be the next witness?
It only makes sense.
Did you listen to any of the testimony?
I've been in my office pacing, ma'am.
Okay. Did you listen to any of the arguments?
I did hear the arguments this morning. It's ridiculous to me that you lied on Monday, and yet here we still are. And I did listen to that argument.
All right, so that was it, just the argument, no testimony.
Right, I listened to the argument this morning where Adam Abadi...
I'm trying to figure this out, bro. I'm trying to figure this out. We're going live. We got Hooligans Gaming tomorrow. We're going to be playing Fortnite, so make sure to send me a friend request at HulaCorp. Yo, this is just like bits and pieces of the trial. Maybe there's an article. Fannie Willis explained. We could just, we got Jenny in the building. She gonna help us out. Who is Fannie Willis, the Atlanta prosecutor leading the Trump election? Leading the Trump election subversion case. So, let's see what we got. Shouts to Clip Champ, man. Clip Champ holds it down, bro. Clip Champ really don't play around. All right, let's see what's good.
Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has reemerged in the spotlight after her office charged 19 co-defendants, including Donald Trump, regarding efforts by the former president and his allies to overturn the 2020 presidential election results. The indictments are a culmination of an investigation that has lasted more than 2 years and has resulted in multiple charges, including conspiracy and racketeering, which Willis has a history of successfully bringing against defendants. The Atlanta area prosecutor, who has not shied away from prosecuting high-profile cases, presented her case before a grand jury on Monday.
So this is the woman that's prosecuting Trump, but I believe, is this the woman that Trump hired? That's what I don't understand. Let's see.
Willis, a Democrat who is Fulton County's first female DA, had been in office for only a day when the former president phoned Georgia's GOP Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, on January 2nd, 2021, urging him to find votes to overturn the 2020 presidential election results. She campaigned on the premise of restoring integrity to the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, was elected after ousting six-term incumbent Paul Howard, and inherited a stack of backlogged cases. Within a month, her office was firing off letters to Georgia officials asking them to preserve documents related to attempts to influence the state's 2020 election.
It says Trump has vehemently denied wrongdoing, as have his allies who are under scrutiny in the probe. The former president has lashed out at Willis, who is black, calling her a racist and a lunatic Marxist, and baselessly claiming she has ties to gang members. What the heck? Asked by CNN in February 2022 about the struggle to envision a former president under prosecution in her state, Willis said, "What I could envision is what we actually live in, a society where Lady Justice, blah, 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 blah." Besides leading the election subversion probe, Willis has also brought anti-corruption indictments against Grammy Award. Oh, so she's also prosecuting Young Thug, bro. Because I got this story from Academics, man. Shout out to DJ Academics, you know what I'm saying? The district attorney, the way it goes on my case. This is crazy, man. I'm gonna have to look more into this. Let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. All right, guys. Up next on the Hoolagans Podcast, we got to talk about the state of the podcast market. Right now, we got a lot of podcasters who are not necessarily losing their deals, but their deals are ending. Academics had a deal. Joe Budden had a deal, and so basically, like, a bunch of people were trying to clown them, saying that they lost their deals, but it's like, it's kind of like the market's already been kind of pumped up, like stocks and business. It's like they gave Joe Rogan that 100 million, and that basically made the podcast an actual market. Then everyone started getting crazy deals, and what's it called? Now that's kind of like what I heard about it so far. let's look into this, man. I want to talk. Like, I want to see what the TikTokers have to say. Let's see, state of podcast. Because I've also seen a lot of videos talking about how, like, I guess celebrities or entertainers ruin podcasts, but I feel like podcasts were always a part of they were always a part of like the Hollywood kind of era. Let's see.
And let's be honest, most of the shows aren't good. So if the shows aren't good,
oh, shouts to this is EYO.
A lot of shows not passing the eye test. Most shows are too fucking long. There's a big space, I think, available for somebody to do short form content, 5 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But people don't have 4 or 5 hours to listen to a whole bunch of shows. So I think, and then the business models are always wrong. Like when I would go into like CAA, and I'll have conversations about how talent deals worked and all this shit. I'm like, why are you trying to?
Wait, my bad, y'all. My bad. I feel like this is a little bit better. My bad, y'all. My bad. All right, let's keep it pushing.
Trying to give me this deal when we produce the show ourselves and pay for everything.
Yeah.
No, I think the business model has been broken. Like even taking ads all the time, I think is a huge mistake. I think every brand needs to have a product or at least have equity in what they're advertising in.
All right. This was towards the end of last year. Let's see, podcast expected. Let's see. Let's see, podcasting. Let's see, something like this. Podcast thoughts. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what I should. You know what? Let's just move on, y'all. Let's just move on. I got more topics. All right. We got to talk about this Harry Potter TV series, guys. Harry Potter's been like a staple, in pop culture for pretty much ever. And what's it called? I guess they're releasing a TV show. Oh, there it is right here. Check this out. Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Salzov expressed excitement for the upcoming Harry Potter television series, which would see a relaunch for The Boy Who Lived, announcing the show would set in the Wizarding World is aiming for a 2026 debut. Yo, that's lit, bro. I'm with that, man. Harry Potter TV series. Let's see. I don't want to get copyrighted.
We have updates about the rumored cast of the new Harry Potter series coming to HBO Max, so let's talk about it. First off though, if you want to know more about the series, click on this link here and I'll send you to my old video. Starting with the big three. For Harry Potter, we have this child actor called Toby Wolf, whose most notable movie is Rare Beast, that personally I've never heard of. Or watched, but it could be a good movie. I don't know his acting ability, but if we're looking at if he's book accurate, Harry Potter is skinny, messy black hair, and striking green eyes, and his eyes are really noted in the book because they look like his mother's. Now, I'm not saying they can't turn this kid into Harry Potter. All I'm saying is it's going to save some hair and makeup artists a lot of time if they don't have to sit there and put eye contacts in him, dye his hair, or keep him skinny. This is also an old photo of him. Let me show you him now. As of now, I believe this is what he looks like, and I'm not saying he's a bad actor. He could be a phenomenal actor. I'm just saying he's not giving me Harry Potter. For Ron Weasley, we have Joshua Pickering, who is most known for his role in Peter Pan.
So it's gonna be like a young, like them in young. I thought they were already young though. So it's just like redoing the series or what? What the
and
heck's going on?
I don't know if it's just me, but this kid looks more like Harry Potter. I'm not mad at this choice. I can definitely see the resemblance between him and Ron. But in my opinion, I do think maybe they should consider auditioning him for Harry Potter because he could definitely fit that role.
Gracie says, honestly, I think Harry Potter remake feels way too soon. Like the series is still alive and thriving. I mean, I don't know. Like Harry Potter's been around since I was in freaking first grade, bro. So I wouldn't say. I don't know if I would necessarily say all that.
Oh, really well. Now, out of the big three, this is definitely my favorite pick. This is Bronte Carmichael, and honestly, she looks more like Hermione in the books than Emma Watson did. She's also experienced as a child actor, so she's been in Christopher Robin, she's been in Game of Thrones, and Great Expectations. I'm excited to see how she takes on the role of Hermione, but I'm not mad at this choice at all. In regards to this casting, I'm not mad at it. I'm not disappointed. I'm just
Let's see.
We have breaking news today regarding the Harry Potter TV show. A little recap. As you know, in April, it was announced that there was going to be a Harry Potter TV series that will be premiering on HBO Max. This will span about 10 years in time, and it will closely follow the Harry Potter book series. Now, obviously, it's been announced that in 2024 or 2025 is when we thought this was going to be premiering, and the only information we had was the streaming time, a rough date about when it would be premiering, and that David Heyman would be involved in some case. And now, as of today, we have just found out that they have been bringing on writers to pitch the ideas for the series as of this week.
Are y'all excited for a Harry Potter TV series?
So this is the new logo for the Harry Potter series that's coming to Max. Not HBO Max anymore, just Max. It's so creative and different. Honestly, I don't know how they thought of it. But we have a lot more information about this series now, so let's talk about the positives and the negatives. Starting with the positives, one of my concerns was how are you going to replace the original cast that grew up in their roles? They're planning for this show to run for 10 years. Now, you know what? That is a positive. They have high hopes for the show, and they want an accurate adaptation of the books. And I love that, I really do. This isn't a positive, just something I want to point out, but J.K. Rowling will be an executive producer on the show. It's just sounding very familiar. Just, you know, getting the author of a major book franchise to be an executive producer on a TV series. I don't know, it just sounds a little familiar. One thing I'm looking forward to in the new series, though, is to see St. Mungo's Hospital. I want Neville to have that connection to his family.
Yo, I never really got into Harry Potter, man. I was more of a Star Wars type of guy. You know what I'm saying? That was more my cup of coffee. But I mean, they said the show is supposed to run for 10 years. And let's see.
The cast of the new Harry Potter TV show has been
The only information that's really out is the cast. So I don't know, man. Let's see. Harry Potter retrospective. I watched all of them with you know, old lover of mine. And yo, the Harry Potter ride at Universal Studios is lit. Is lit. Let's see, deep dive. I watched all of them. My only problem, or I had a few problems with it, but my thing was like every movie starts with them in the school, bruh. Like there's only one setting. There's only one setting, bruh.
Ultimately, what is the most about Sirius's relationship with Harry, as we all know, is that because Sirius lost this incredible pillar of his life in a brutal and horrifically traumatic way that also landed him in wizard jail for 13 fucking years and never really truly gets to recover from any of that, And the last living remnant of that person, who is James, is Harry, who looks exactly...
Yo, like the whole Harry Potter thing, man, I don't really get it, bro. This is just too much, man.
Welcome to
Oh, the
Hogwarts
game was
Legacy.
sick. The game was sick. Harry Potter explained. Let's see if someone can explain it nicely. This was like super popular when I was in elementary school, bro. I'm 28 years old now, bro. Like, how are like they're like, oh, it's too soon to make a bro. That was 28 years, 30 years ago, bro.
Hi, I'm Xander.
What is the meaning behind always in Harry Potter? So this is something that Snape says in Deathly Hallows, but what exactly does it mean? And what's the importance of it? So Snape was the same age as Lily Potter, and from a very young age, he was very much in love with her. But it was very much a one-sided love. Whilst they did have a very good relationship before they joined Hogwarts, it was at this point only friendly, and then when they got to Hogwarts, they got sorted into different houses. This really affected and upset Snape because he was put in Slytherin, and Lily was put in Gryffindor, so they were separated. No matter how close they were, it was going to be harder to spend time together. They started to become closer with James, which obviously fueled a bit of hatred from Snape for James, which was only made worse when James started bullying Snape. And James had basically laid claim to the one thing, probably in his entire life, that Snape had loved.
Wait, so James is Harry Potter's dad?
And while Snape ended up joining the Death Eaters and supporting Voldemort, this didn't change his feelings for Lily. In fact, it could have been how scorned he felt from all that had happened and from the fact he couldn't be with the person he loved that ultimately drove him to becoming a Death Eater. He knew that he would never be able to be with Lily and that his dreams of them being in love together was just never going to come to fruition. That probably, as I said, fueled him joining the dark side. Or dark arts, sorry. Dark side's very Star Wars. And when the
Alright, y'all, that's a little bit about Harry Potter, man. Let's see what else we got on the Hoolagans Podcast. We need to talk about... Let me check. Yo, so I guess Blueface is in jail, man. Blueface was bringing a lot of... You know what? Let's talk about, let's talk about the freaking movie I saw today, bro. I saw this movie today that was actually, it's pretty good. It was a pretty good movie. It was like a random movie. It was called Ordinary Angels. And basically it was about my bad, yeah. It was about this family, right? The mom, she dies pretty early on. She gives birth to two daughters. And basically the second daughter has like a condition. So basically the movie is the dad taking care of the two daughters, and his mom lives with them, the mom dies. And what happens is that basically the daughter needs a liver transplant or something. And so that's kind of that situation. Meanwhile, there's this like, upper aged lady. She owns this hair business, and she's kind of going through her own struggles. But she gets a hold of this, this story that this little girl needs a liver transplant, and so she like, she starts raising money for her. She gets involved, the whole nine yards, and you know, it's pretty good. It was like a Lifetime movie. Like I was in there with a bunch of old people, bro. Like I was just like, I don't know, it's 12 o'clock, bro. But it was good acting, man. Like Ordinary Angels review. It was good acting, bro. Let's see who's messing with it.
What's up, y'all? Let's go to the movies. Ordinary Angels. This movie better not make me cry. I do not feel like it today.
I can't tripping. Dang, did she film the whole experience?
a studio releases complete shock. Let's talk about it. I cried. So that was Ordinary Angels, directed by John Gunn, not James Gunn. John Gunn.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I had some tears in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? It was like 1 or 2 tears. It's just the movie was good, man. Sorry, there's a little kitty, there's a little cat over here. What's up, homie? Let's hear what you got to say.
Hilary Swank and Alan Ritchson. All right, so somewhat slight little backstory on the film itself, not the story, but the film itself. So this movie was originally supposed to come out last year, October 13th. What came out October 13th? The Taylor Swift movie. Just in case you forgot, the Taylor Swift movie was a complete shock surprise. Literally, the announcement came out of nowhere. I believe it was like the last day of August. Is it 30th or 31st? It was the last day of August. AMC and Taylor Swift dropped this news, and everyone was shook. All of Hollywood. So all of the movies that were coming out around that time had to shift. Exorcist Believer, which was supposed to come out on October 13th.
Wait, so the Taylor Swift movie was so in demand that it pushed the release dates of other films, bro? That's wild, man.
Friday the 13th moved up a week. Killers of the Flower Moon nixed their limited release and just opted for a wide release the week.
Yo, I mess with this shorty though. She's informed.
Week after. And then this movie, Ordinary Angels, just pushed to February. I was a little nervous about the February release date because this is a dump month. So January, February, and usually like the beginning part of March, dump months. So these are usually the worst movies of the year. They're not very good.
Nah, bro. Shout outs to Land of Bad, man. Land of Bad was lit.
They're not going to make a whole lot of money, but they're not looking to compete with big blockbusters. Dump months. So with a February release date, I was a little nervous. I'm like, okay, is the movie just not good? Because usually when a studio releases a movie in February or January, they're not, they don't have a whole lot of hope for the movie, right? This thing, though. So I didn't do any research about this movie. I didn't know anything about it going into it, other than Hilary Swank is in it, and a little bit of the story based on what I've seen in trailers. There are some things I did not know. Number one, this is based on a true story, and number two, this is a Christian movie. This is from the same production company as Jesus Revolution. You remember the movie from last year? The guy who directed, John Gunn, was the screenwriter for
I did not know that.
Jesus Revolution. He was also he was the director for the I Still Believe movie. I don't think I saw that one, but I know what it is. I Still Believe. I believe that was the Jeremy Camp movie, right?
All right, let me hear. She's super yapping, but she was letting it down. Let's hear what she.
Hey guys, it's your boy Shaw Bellamy, and I'm back with you with a brand new movie review video here on my TikTok. And as you see, I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts and overall score for the movie Ordinary Angels. Ordinary Angels was directed by John Gunn, and it is about and this movie is about, you guys, a struggling woman who is also an alcoholic finds a renewed sense of purpose when she meets a widowed father who is trying to save his terminally ill daughter. Yeah, you guys, so let's get right into it. Starting with the good, you guys, I have to give a huge thumbs up to this cast, man. From top to bottom, I thought
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. The acting was good, bro. I feel like, them Lifetime movies, bro, they weren't the best stories, right? They didn't have the best stories, but the acting, I would always say the acting's pretty good in them Lifetime movies. Lifetime.
The actor did their job beautifully. Hilary Swank absolutely was my favorite in this movie when you talk about her playing Sharon. She was great. Alan Ritchson, hopefully I didn't butcher his name, I'm sorry, that gentleman right there. You probably seen him in the TV show Jack Reacher. He did a great job playing as Ed, the dad. You see he's trying to take care and really save his daughter. But everybody was great, man, from top to bottom. I thought they really knocked it out of the park with this cast. So definitely a thumbs up for this movie. Another great thing about this movie, you guys, was the emotional tone in this movie. The creators of this movie, Ordinary Angels, did a really good job of tugging and pulling on the heartstrings as you watch, man. And it felt like in every scene. And I'm not going to lie to y'all, I cried a good amount while watching this movie. It was just so dope to see, again, Sharon, this stranger, do everything she could. I'm talking about moving mountains for this family.
Yeah, it was pretty lit. Like, yo, she was getting freaking planes, helicopters, freaking money. It was a little like she was getting news anchor ladies. But you know what? This is how like some like women are really freaking nice like that, bro. Like they will make it happen, bro. Like she was bringing it's funny because the tactics she was using, these are like tactics that like these are like real estate agent tactics. And it's funny cuz she was a businesswoman in the movie, but she was bringing muffins to the to the secretaries to get in cool so she can get in contact to the boss. Um it was dope. It was dope. So let's continue. Let's continue.
Family trying her absolute best to try to help save this little girl, Ashley. Just a few things she did that was really was.
Let's see.
Listen. If you feel like your tear ducts are stopped up, you feel like
It's funny because it's like this movie is all there's really no brothers in the movie, but it's just a bunch of us. You feel me? Look, you feel me? Let's see.
Hey guys, I just got back from the movies. I saw Ordinary Angels, so let's talk about it. It's gonna be spoiler.
Let's see what he has.
What's up, everybody? I'm Michael Allen, and this is the Movie Minute. This episode of the Movie Minute, we're talking about John Gunn's new film, Ordinary Angels. This is a faith-based movie based on a woman who decides she's going to...
Alright, they're basically just explaining what I did. I just want to hear what they thought of it. Let's see.
Hey y'all, so I told you that I would do a review of the movie Ordinary Angels. I loved the movie. It was really good. It was a really good feel-good movie, and I cried within the first 5 minutes and quite a few times after. But I was just looking for that moment when he had to just call out to God because he had nowhere else to turn to and, just to fall on his face before him. And that just never happened. So I was a little bit disappointed in that, but I would definitely recommend seeing the movie.
I will have to disagree. I'll give you some pushback on that, Darlene. I would feel like, I feel like that moment was when he was at his wife's gravesite with his daughter. And she was like, "Is that why you don't pray to God anymore? Are you mad at him or something?" And then he was like, I forgot what happened. But right there, they started to pray to God again. And like, he didn't himself, it wasn't like a typical, like, what you would normally see. But I feel like that was a cool way they did it. Like, he asked his daughter, like, "Can you help me talk to God?" I feel like that was that moment. That was that moment, Darlene. But, hey, man, different strokes for different folks. You feel me? Let's see.
So I just got to watch an advanced screening of Ordinary Angels, and it inspired me to share the story of the time that my Thanksgiving was saved by an ordinary angel. Last Thanksgiving, my husband and I were on our way to spend Thanksgiving with my family. We got on a 5 a.m. flight, and for some reason it just wasn't taking off. We waited and waited and waited, and eventually I got a text on my phone saying that we had missed our connection and they were rescheduling us for the following day. I know it's not the end of the world to have to spend Thanksgiving in the airport or in a hotel, but it had almost been a year since I'd seen my family and I really wanted some of my grandma's stuffing, so I was just upset that we weren't gonna make it. I had literally talked to so many different people. They were all really nice, but didn't seem to be able to help us out. That was until I met my ordinary angel. He was nice enough to hear me out, hear what I had to say, and he seemed willing to do literally anything to get us to California on time. I don't know what he did, but he was on his computer and making a bunch of phone calls. He hands me this boarding pass and he just tells me to go sit down. And lo and behold, Jacob and I are the only two people that make it onto this completely full flight. So God literally used this man as an ordinary angel in our life. We made it to Thanksgiving, and it truly inspired me to want to be an ordinary angel in someone else's life, because you have no idea how your act of kindness can impact them. So I just got to watch an advanced screening.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool, man.
Hey y'all, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. So, ready for the movies. I just threw on this little top.
Hey, do your thing, auntie.
Here he is. I just see his face. And here's some wide leg jeans, y'all, that I put on. And I have on Birkenstocks and socks. Yes, I do. Because
Now
we
this,
just going
yo, this is quality podcasting right here.
around the corner to the movie theater. But going to go see Ordinary Angels. I wanted to see Bob Marley or Argyle, but baby wants to see Ordinary Angels because it's a touching movie and it's related to health. And I know why he wants to see it. So I said, okay. But I'll come back in a sec, y'all. I just wanted to show you my look. Wide leg jeans.
She's crazy. This lady's crazy, man.
Okay, you guys. So my critique on Ordinary Angels is go see it. Because you're going to cry. It's a tearjerker, y'all. It's a really soft, touching movie with also it's some humor, so you're gonna chuckle a few times. It's touching. You're gonna cry. You're gonna shed some tears, a couple of times. So it is a tearjerker, and it's a really, really good movie. My eyes watered up, and little sniffles. Baby took napkins and had to wipe his.
All right, y'all. That's a little bit about Ordinary Angels, man. Ordinary Angels is lit. All right, guys. That's everything for our pop culture section. We're gonna get into our gaming section next, but before that, we're gonna take a 5-minute break, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Hoolagans Podcast. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? We're back with it. We're back with it. All right. All right, let's see. So, one second. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get into our gaming section. Up first, we have we need to talk about this Borderlands trailer, y'all. Borderlands was like the game, bro. It was Borderlands, Halo. I don't even think Call of Duty was that cool yet. It was Borderlands, Halo, and Fallout, yo. When I was in like junior high school, that was like the wave, bro. So I guess they're making a TV show. Is that what I said? I think so, y'all. Borderlands. Let's see. Borderlands TV trailer.
So the new Borderlands trailer just came out like an hour ago. I couldn't help but think, why didn't they use KG Elephant or The Heavy on it? One of these iconic songs from the video game trailers. The studio was just like, let's make it sound like Guardians of the Galaxy. Those films did well. I couldn't get this out of my head, and then I just realized, oh yeah, I'm an editor. I'm just going to change the music. So the first thing you want to do is export the audio from your video as a WAV.
Oh, this dude is like having opinions about the music, bro. Let's just watch the trailer, man. Let's just watch the trailer.
With your body parts.
What did I tell you?
Minimal explosions.
I said no explosions.
Wait, they got Kevin Hart in this? Oh, wait, so is this this is not a TV show. This is a movie, bruh. Borderlands movie. Let's get it. Yo, Claptrap, let's go.
Ooh, mine's bigger.
What are you doing? I needed a gun.
Miss Curtis in this beat.
There's only one of you in the world. You're special. Uh-oh. Kill them all. What's happening right now? I'm expelling the excess lead. I can't go if you're looking at me. Actually, scrap that. I can. I really can. Actually, it's helping. Are we really ready for this to finish? Keep looking at me.
Wait, what the heck? Yo, that caught me by surprise, bro. So they got Kevin Hart in the Borderlands movie?
So the trailer for the Borderlands movie dropped, and I like Borderlands, so I was kind of excited. Don't know why. TLDR, shitty. Basically, another property trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy, but instead of hiring people that have chemistry, they just got the biggest actors they could find. My favorite YouTube comment was, could they not...
That's interesting because I didn't even get a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe. Even though that does make sense, I'm not gonna lie. Freaking, I got more of a Jumanji vibe, but that's just because freaking Kevin Hart he's in Jumanji, right?
Not find anyone under 40 to be in this movie. Kevin Hart plays Kevin Hart, Roland. Also, if Claptrap is just gonna be a voice, you can just have the original voice. You don't need Jack Black.
That's actually a super good point. That's a really good point.
But I guess you do, since the average moviegoer, including half of you about to comment, will see it and be like, holy crud, Jack Black, the GOAT. 2 tickets, please. My favorite part is when it goes from the producers of these movies to hype you up. That's shit. That's a very bad sign. That's the producer of Morbius. That's the guy who ruined Spider-Man 3 because he forced the director to put in a bunch of shit he didn't want to. Also,
Wait, so I think that's also the actor to Madam Web too.
So it looks bad. Like ugly. Like an ugly CGI fest. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya. Also, Jamie Lee Curtis and Jack Black are Zionists. So
I don't want to get into that, but that's interesting. Yeah, I thought this was a TV show, bruh.
Alright guys, as you know, the Borderlands full trailer came out today. I had some time to watch it and sit with it, so let's really dig in right now, okay? We're talking Borderlands. If you're not a fan of vault hunting, get the fuck out! Okay guys, first for my plot heads out there, if you don't know what Borderlands is all about or you never played the games, you're basically playing as a vault hunter on an alien planet called Pandora. Now, on this planet, there are all sorts of inhospitable creatures, okay? You got things called skags and racks and all sorts of different, like, animal-type things, and everything on the planet is trying to kill you, okay? And so you're basically just finding new different guns and loot, and you're like a treasure hunter. So you're following this map to like this unopenable vault that's supposed to hold all the best weapons in the galaxy, and it's a co-op game, so you get to play with your friends, split screen or online, and it's a lot of fun. But the cool thing about the game is it's really, really rich environments, okay? We're talking really amazing production design.
No, it's true. Like what I distinctly remember from Borderlands is like the animation. Like the animation is super dope. Can't even hate on it. Let's see what else you gotta say.
Design. Stylistically, this game has a really unique look to it that inspired a whole bunch of other video games. Go look up some screenshots if you haven't seen them, but the idea is that this game has a really unique
One could say that the Borderlands animation is very similar to the Spider-Verse animation, bruh. One could say that.
look and feel to it, and I think that if this movie wants to be successful, it's gonna have to capitalize on some of that look and feel. Now let's dig into a little bit more of what this trailer actually showed us. First of all, we've got another look here at all the characters, guys. We saw a lot of
Yo, tell me why that's the freaking holes, that's the Holes shot from Holes, bruh. The movie Holes.
really good costume design here. I'm really, really liking what they're doing with Tiny Tina. So shout out Ariana Greenblatt. You guys might have known her from Barbie, but she's quietly blowing up. And Tiny Tina is one of the best characters in the Borderlands series. So I'm excited to see what she does with the role. I know I mentioned in the last Borderlands video I made that I was a little bit nervous about how they were going to do Roland as Kevin Hart. He actually looks okay in this trailer. I'm still kind of holding out a little bit of hope on it because I'm not really sure he can nail that sort of intimidation that's needed for it. But it wasn't as big of a problem as I thought it was going to be. We did get to hear Jack Black's voice as the Claptrap. I think he totally nails that. That is like the best casting in this movie for sure. And last, I wanted to just talk about one of the best things that makes Borderlands what it is all the crazy side characters. So, you know, you're going to have all sorts of different eccentric people, aliens, creatures, psychos, all sorts of weird-ass motherfuckers roaming around this planet that you have to go visit for one reason or another. Like,
I'm not too familiar with the like individual characters. I didn't even know. I guess I forgot. Like, I haven't played that game in a long time, bruh. But yeah, man, that's Borderlands, yo. Up next, we got to talk about this neural interface for the wrist, you guys. So y'all know that we talked about Neuralink. We got Elon Musk trying to basically put an iPhone inside of your skull, bruh, inside of your head, so you can, when you dream, you go inside the internet on some Timmy Turner like type stuff, bro. So I guess now there's a thing called there's something for your wrist that you can just let me just look it up. Let's see. It should be in my IG saves, bro, if I did this right. Check this out. Crazy right here, bro. Check this out. It says signals from the brain passing through the wrist can be recognized by a neural interface. So basically, you can just you don't even need like a controller. You don't need the dusty 1990s that 1990s VR Oculus technology. Um you could just put this on your wrist and then you don't even need to have the sensors and stuff. It's pretty lit. I would rather have that than a Neuralink. I'm not trying to become cyborg, bruh. What's it called? Let's see. Neuralink for wrist. Wrist. Uh, 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 uh. Yo, that Fannie Willis story is so confusing, bro. Neuralink for wrist. Right here, check it out, check it out. Oh shoot, this company's from Israel, y'all. Y'all know what that means. Yo, well, all right. So Netanyahu did say they got the latest and greatest in tech, but they got freaking stormtroopered on, bro. That story, man. Story sounds. We'll get into that at another time. I'm looking for this right here. There we go. Yo, by the way, I'm bumping some ecstasy right now. Shouts to ecstasy. I want to hear Jenny, man. It's like I'm used to hearing Jenny's voice, bro. All right, let's see.
Yachnim Illit, Israel, February 26, 2024, Globe Newswire, Wearable Devices Limited, the company, or Wearable Devices, NASDAQ, WLDSW, a technology growth company specializing in artificial intelligence, AI, powered touchless sensing wearables, today announced its participation at MWC Barcelona 2024, the world's most influential exhibition for the connectivity and security ecosystem, where they will demonstrate neural gesture input technology targeting the B2B and B2C markets. The company's booth will be located at Hall 5, 5 times 10 to the power of 61 from Monday, February 26th to Thursday, February 29th, 2024. At MWC, Wearable Devices will demonstrate its recently launched Madra Development Kit, MDK, for B2B partners. Leveraging innovative neural gesture control technology, the MDK deciphers neural signals from major nerve bundles in the wrist that allow original equipment manufacturers, OEM, to design custom wrist and hand gestures, defining a spatial gesture user experience specifically tailored to the OEM's business requirements. The company will also showcase its flagship B2C product, the Madra Band for Apple Watch, an award-winning...
Nah, bro, this is sketchy, bro. So, oh, do you guys picking up what I'm cooking, what I'm laying down? So this kit, the Neuralink for your wrist, is called the Mudra Development Kit, bro. And I didn't even put that together, two and two together, but a mudra is like stuff you do with your hands, bro, when you're doing like yoga and stuff, and like all that spiritual miracle lyrical stuff, bro. What? Ah, come on, bruh. It's like the same thing they did with the Oculus. Like Oculus is like a mirror or something like that. And there's a scary movie named called Oculus too, bro. So, dude, I don't know, man. That's kind of sketchy, bro. Let's see. Leveraging innovative neural gesture control technology, the MDK deciphers neural signals from major nerve bundles in the wrist that allow original equipment and manufacturers to design custom wrist and hand gestures, defining a spatial gesture, blah, 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 blah. Dang, bro. About Wearable Devices, LTD. Wearable Devices, a growth company. That's called Mudra. Of course it is, bro. And This is from Israel, bro. Israel got the device called Mudra, bro. I thought they were, man. What's going on, bro? I need help. I need somebody help. This is crazy, bro. But yeah, man, they got the Mudra. What's it called? They got the Mudra development kit, bro. I don't know if they're the same ones though. Exit. Do they have pictures? We're about to move on. I just want to see this real quick. What the heck? They think I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean that's basically wearable devices. Mudra. Yep. All this stuff is like real too. Although like, cause this basically is kind of like stretching when you can let blood flow to different parts of your brain, and even I've researched that your breathing is connected with your hands and also the temperature of your hands. So, if you got cold hands, it's harder to breathe. But shoot, man, we're gonna keep it pushing here on the Hooligans Podcast. We got to talk about Battlefront coming to console, bro. This is a story I'm excited to hear. I'm excited to hear this story because, bro, Battlefront, that was another game, bro. It was Battlefront. At different seasons, like these days with the internet and all the gadgets, like basically you have all the games being played simultaneously. But back in the day, it used to have like, certain games would just be hot and you wouldn't play the other game at all. Like there'd be times where I wouldn't even play Halo. I hate to say that. But there'd be times, when Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out, I was playing Call of Duty. Or when Fallout 3 came out, I was just playing Fallout 3. When Far Cry came out, I was just playing Far Cry, bruh. So um that's the same thing with like Battlefront. Yo, we were all on Battlefront. We weren't playing anything else except Battlefront. And I think Battlefront 2 was with the multiplayer, or maybe both of them had multiplayer. I don't remember, bro, but we got Battlefront about to get re-released, bro. Check this out. Aspire, the studio that recently bought the Tomb Raider remastered trilogy, just came back with a new collection announcement, this time for the legendary franchise Star Wars Battlefront. Specifically, it was announced that the Star Wars blah blah blah. Additionally, it was revealed that the collection will offer both online and offline modes with the forming player multiplayer with up to 64 players, bruh. Dang, y'all know I always be getting clowned on my YouTube shorts, bruh, because I got the Stormtrooper skin. They say I got Stormtrooper aim, bro. That's messed up, man. But it's kind of funny. So, um, yeah, the new Battlefront that they released, bro. I remember playing that on PlayStation. Bro, it was weak, bro. It did not have the same vibe, bro. And I don't know if it's just because I'm older. I don't know what it is, bro. Yo, what's good? No, my bad, Savory. I don't got these comments pulled up like I do when I'm gaming. So if I don't respond, bro, that's my bad, bro. Savory said, "Did I hear that Valorant is coming to console?" Nah, I didn't know that, man. I'm actually surprised. I'll get into the Valorant real quick. Oh, tangent. I'm surprised Valorant is as popular as it is, bro. I remember playing Valorant on the Switch. Like, what is this, bro? But that's besides the point. Um, yeah, the new Battlefront just wasn't it, bro. In my Charlemagne the God voice, bro. That ain't it. But the old Battlefront, check this out, bro. I like playing the Stormtrooper with the jetpack. Yo, no way, dude. Oh yeah, the jetpack and the blaster. You were that was OG, but usually he would have the almost punched myself. Usually he would have the um what's it called? Usually he would have the rocket launcher.
Did you know that the highly anticipated Star Wars Battlefront 3 was ready to ship out to customers but canceled at the last minute? And there's someone big to blame. According to the developers, the game was 98% done, but due to a twist of fate and some unfortunate timing, it never saw the light of day. Battlefront 3 was shaping up to be a groundbreaking addition to the series, building on the success of Battlefront 1 and 2. It promised to push the limits with larger scale battles and way better graphics. The game was supposed to introduce a new story, better AI, and enhancements to the beloved Galactic Conquest mode, which we still haven't seen anything rival in gaming to this day, in my opinion. And what really sucks is that one of the leaked features was the seamless integration of ground and space
Well, I didn't even know this actually.
battles, allowing players to transition from ground combat to space battles and even board enemy ships, all within a single fluid map. There'd be no loading screens with this. Now this all sounds great, but the project wasn't without its issues though. It was having a bit of a trouble development as the devs were getting into fights with LucasArts over missed deadlines and unmet milestones. But the final nail in the coffin was LucasArts being acquired by Disney, leading to the loss of the Star Wars license for the developers.
Alright, so Star Wars got sold to Disney.
Your simulation days are over, Trooper. This is a real battle. No retreats. No excuses. Now get out there.
Fight your way across the Star Wars galaxy in the classic Battlefront games with massive 64-player online battles.
That's lit, bro.
And split-screen local gameplay. Fight with heroes.
Never tell me the odds.
And battle with villains.
Bring me more Jedi.
Get ready for the Star
That's
Wars
lit, bro.
Battlefront Classic Collection. Launching March 14th. Pre-order now.
Dang. March 14th, that's in like 3 weeks. Yo, this was the game. I think this is the new one.
You are as clumsy as you are stupid.
I think it was Battlefront 2 where you can be like the, Jedis and the Sith. Star Wars Battlefront 2. My favorite, y'all already know my favorite, bro, General Grievous.
Now on to Grievous. General Grievous is probably the only character in Star Wars with a name that I always forget. This man is built like Springtrap after being blown up by Obi-Wan in the prequel.
When that Zaza fight back?
He even has a skin that you can actually wear it, in which he is literally burning in agony. Unlike others, Grievous doesn't levitate down when he jumps. Instead, he just collapses down, which makes him look even more goofy. And probably has the most dramatic ass death in the entirety of Hollywood. Unrelenting Advance has Grievous activate additional 2 lightsabers and spin them, deflecting attacks and doing damage at the same time. He is also resistant to the Force while using this ability, except American Explosive. Now you may think, oh, this is not so bad, until you learn that the only way to move your camera is with your keyboard and not your mouse. Might as well unbind this ability at this point. Claw Rush allows you to turn into a fucking spider. When they see it unattended.
Yo, the spider version of him's crazy, bro.
You can use this ability to make your enemies strip on oxygen and take damage. But even if that doesn't finish off your enemies and they try to run away, you can use his Thrust Surge ability to activate his true predator instincts and launch him into his enemies.
Yeah, Grievous was the best, bro. Hey, what's up? We got a little guest. Got a little guest on the show, yo. Say what's up to Princess. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes she comes through, say what's up. What's good? What's good? All right, all right. Yeah, let me know what y'all think of Star Wars Battlefront. All right, we're gonna keep it pushing. Actually, we're gonna take a 5 minute break, and then we will be back with our politics, and then that will be the show. Thank you guys for staying in. Hooligans. All right, thank you guys for waiting. Thank you guys for waiting. We're gonna go ahead and get into our last section of the show, which is the political. You already know that I moved it to the end of the show because this stuff really boring, bro. This stuff really boring for real. But first up on our politics section, we got to talk about Turning Point. Unfortunately, they've made it back onto the show. We have one of the Turning Point employees made this cute little video. This video is cute right here. Let's watch it.
A beauty brand called Ivy's announced very publicly that they plan to discriminate against white people. The company put out an ad saying, in honor of Black History Month, we're offering 50% off our skincare line of products to the African American population and affinity groups only. Yes, we should heal the wounds of racism with more racism. People aren't even
All right. So shout outs to Peter Griffin, man. Peter Griffin's holding it down. All right, so basically, this right here is like just a total. I would say it's a lie, in my opinion, but let me know what you guys think. So she said that this company right here,
they plan to discriminate against white people.
She said they plan to discriminate against white people. Which that's not what they even said. So check it out. Let's read this again because the proof is just right here in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? Wish things turned out differently, Bill Cosby.
The company put out an ad saying, in honor of Black History Month, we're offering 50% off our skincare line of products to the African American population and affinity.
The African American population, right? Okay, and right there didn't say nothing against. It didn't say any. There's the word white's not even in this paragraph right here. And it says and affinity groups. So I don't know if she didn't want to Google this or she just thought we wouldn't pay attention to this, but check it out. Affinity group is a group that supports, basically in this case, it would be the African American population. So basically that's anybody. Like as long as you're not a racist, you could walk in and you could get your discount. Like, look, or I'll do the Google search, bro, just so you guys don't think I'm capping, bro. Look, affinity group says what is an affinity group? Let's see, affinity group on Wikipedia. An affinity group is a group formed around a shared interest or common goal to which individuals formally or informally belong. So you can formally or informally belong to this group. Affinity groups are generally precluded from being under the aegis of governmental agency, and their purpose must be primarily non-commercial. So you're trying to make money. Examples of affinity groups include private social clubs, fraternities, writing or reading circles, hobby clubs, and groups engaged in political activism. Some affinity groups are blah, 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 blah. So basically, that wasn't basically that the shorty straight up just capping, bro. Because you can be white. I'm half white. I could be half white. I could be a part of this affinity group of just supporting Black people, and I can get my discount. And nowhere in that does it say we're discriminating against white people, because if they were only offering discounts to Black people, then there's a whole bunch of other races that are also excluded, so that aren't white, So it's just like this right here is I'm disappointed in Turning Point because they claim to be Christians, but we all know how that goes, how the pilgrimage who claim to be Christians are. So this is their narrative, bruh, that they got this like anti-white narrative that they're claiming is happening in America. And this video right here, I mean, I just showed you guys the definition, bro. They said that it's African American groups and affinity groups. So I don't know. And this is my perspective. This is my point of view. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, bro. Yeah. It's like they're trying to paint white people as the victims, bro. And like, in some cases they are. Some cases we are, bro. I love being white, bro. It's like I got my semi-white skin right here. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, man. Yeah, man. That story's sad, bro. That story's sad. Come on, Turning Point. Let's see. Turning Point. Turning Point. Turning Point. All right, I guess that's kind of. I guess we'll just leave it right there, man. But yeah, y'all. And it's just blatant. They're just blatantly lying on a whole nother race, bro. And no one's saying nothing, so I'm saying something, bro. It says they're openly discriminating towards whites, and that's
people. The company put out an ad saying, in honor of Black History,
we're offering 50% off our skincare to the African American population and affinity groups only. So we're just saying if you've messed with us, you can get a discount. If you don't mess with us, no discount, bro. Which that is a different conversation than what is being said here by Turning Point. So I don't know, bro. I just had to bring that up. But up next on the Hooligans Podcast, we gotta talk about Germany legalizing smoking weed in your house and in public, y'all. America could learn a thing or two from this, you know what I'm saying? Um let's check this out. Let's check this out. Where is it at? Where is it at? I thought it was in my saves, man. Yo, I promise you, bro, I have stuff in my saves and it's just not there. Let's check this out. Germany legalizing weed. Three days ago. Check this out, y'all. Germany's lower house of parliament voted to legalize cannabis for recreational use on Friday, despite warnings from the opposition and medical authorities. Dang. The new rules mean adults can possess small amounts for personal use, but the drug remains banned for under 18s. In total, 407 German lawmakers voted in favor of the new regulation. 226 lawmakers voted against, and 4 lawmakers abstained. So it was a 407 versus 226. The passage of the bill follows a controversial national debate and the pros and cons for allowing easier access of the drug. The move makes Germany the third country in Europe after Malta and Luxembourg to legalize the drug for recreational use, removing cannabis from the official list of banned substances. Dang, so that's dope, man. The Netherlands bans possessions of drugs, but the blah 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 blah. Let's see if there's anything on TikTok. Germany legalizing weed. Ah, man. Yeah, TikTok don't like that, man. Let's see. All right, here. This was from just last month, so it just passed. Let's check this out.
Germany wants to legalize cannabis. Well, they want legalization light, but what does that mean? Let's unpack. Legalization light comes with a bunch of rules. It means you can have up to 25 grams with you in public spaces and up to 50 grams
25 grams, bro? That's almost an ounce.
In home cultivation, which is quite a lot. Oh, and the maximum penalty is 30.
Yo, you could just carry an ounce on you? Like it's a freaking sidearm, bro? What?
€1,000 if you carry more than is allowed. However, buying cannabis will only be possible as a member of a non-profit cannabis club, which again has its own set of extensive rules. Smoking in public? Not so easy. You have to keep a distance of at least 100 meters from schools, daycare centers, and other similar facilities. Plus, you can't smoke in pedestrian zones from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So why is Germany doing that? Believe it or not, Germany's plans were initially a lot more ambitious. The government even wanted to permit commercial sales of cannabis, but they had to compromise because some of those plans might violate EU law.
Dang. That's lit, man. Let's see. Under the new legislation put forth by Germany's ruling coalition party, adults can cultivate up to 3 plants for private consumption and be allowed to possess 50 grams at one time at home and 25 grams in public starting from April 1st. From July 1st, cannabis would be available in licensed non-for-profit clubs with no more than 500 members, all of whom have to be adults. Only club members would be allowed. Only club members would be allowed to consume their output. Let me check, make sure everything's cool. All right, nice. Yo, that's lit, man. Yo, 25 grams at one time is crazy though, bro. That's like, bro. This is 25 grams right here. Ounce of cannabis. Check this out. This is an ounce, bro. Probably this jar right here. It's a big jar, right? So you could basically carry, I guess it's not that. When you put it like that, it's a lot more than like it's people usually get though. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't usually get that much. It's like 3 grams less than an ounce. But that's lit, man. All right, y'all. We got to get to our last story of the Hoolagans Podcast. And this one is crazy, bruh. We got to talk about the airman that set himself on fire today, y'all. So, U.S. airman, check this out. All right, so the story is this guy right here. This is some crazy stuff, bruh. This guy sets himself on fire in support of Palestine. And this dude is like an active military soldier. He sets himself on fire because I think they're setting people on fire. The Jews are setting Palestinians on fire. Now I'm sure it's happening on both sides of the court just to keep things fair. But this video right here is disturbing as heck, bruh. I saw the official version on WPD.com. I was like, yo, I seen this. I was like, I know they're gonna have that Watch this.
Air Force, and I will no longer be complicit in genocide. I'm about an extreme act of protest, but compared to what people...
He's got a can of gasoline.
Colonizers, it's not extreme at all. This is what our ruling class has decided will be normal.
This is crazy, bro. He doused himself, then put his hat on. And it's not working. It's not working. This is crazy.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
All right, y'all. I'm gonna mute it and take it off from right there because it's crazy, bro. He doesn't even ever stop, drop, and roll, bro. He literally gets like stuck standing up and just gets charred, and then he falls when he's done, bro. Like you could see his pants burn up, bro. It's freaking crazy, bro. Like I haven't seen a video this crazy probably since the two girls in the I was like, I haven't seen a video this crazy in a long time, bro. So RIP to that soldier, man. Um I'm speechless after that, bro. I don't even really know what to say, bro. Let's see if there's any TikTokers. Let's see. Aaron did like, bruh. He got cooked, bro.
Secondly, yesterday an active duty service member set himself on fire in front of the Israeli embassy in protest of U.S. support for Israel's operations in Gaza. Has the secretary been briefed on Airman Bushnell, and is he concerned that maybe this airman's actions may indicate there's a bigger issue within the military as far as U.S. support for this ongoing operation?
Yeah, so the secretary is following the situation. I know the Air Force has confirmed the airman's death. They do plan to provide additional information 24 hours after next of kin notifications are complete. It certainly is a tragic event. We do extend our condolences to the airman's family. In terms of the incident itself, Tara, as you know, the DC Metropolitan Police Department has the lead for responding to questions about that incident. So
Shoot, man.
U.S. Airman Aaron Bushnell has now died. He hasn't paid attention to the thousands upon thousands of dead kids and you know where. But one U.S. airman sets themselves on fire to remind people of what's going on, and the whole world goes crazy. U.S. Airman Aaron Bushnell.
Yo, bro kind of looks like he low-key set his hair on fire.
Yesterday, a 25-year-old airman named Aaron Bushnell took his own life in an act of self-immolation, which means setting himself on fire outside of the Israeli embassy, shouting "Free Palestine, Free Palestine." The video and the act itself are both incredibly harrowing footage, which has largely been scrubbed from the internet now, although it was live streamed at the time. Within 1 minute, people from the surrounding area arrived with fire extinguishers to try and extinguish the flames. He was transported to a hospital where he later succumbed to his injuries and died.
Yo, they always say that I heard that in a comment. They say the people never say that the people died there, so they never have to like deal with that. They always say they died at the hospital. But yo, if you go watch the official video, bro, and if you've seen enough people get KO'd, bro, like I'm pretty sure bro was out the door, bro. Like that's crazy, man.
God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you.
A U.S. Air Force Special Operations CV-22 Osprey has crashed off the coast of Japan with 8.
What is this dude's name? Dang, bro.
The person who set himself on fire outside of the Israeli embassy here in Washington on Sunday has been identified as an active duty U.S. airman. Aaron Bushnell is the name. In the video of the incident, the 25-year-old Bushnell said he would no longer be complicit in genocide before dousing himself with an unknown liquid and igniting himself, repeatedly yelling "Free Palestine." Police officers rushed to douse the flames with fire extinguishers, but Bushnell later died in the hospital from his injury.
Bro, that's so crazy, dude.
An active
active U.S. Air Force member Aaron Bushnell.
I just want to hear what people think, man.
Today, for the second time in 3 months, a U.S. citizen has lit themselves on fire to protest against the country that shall not be named and what they're doing to the Palestinian people. This time, it was an active-duty U.S. Air Force member who spoke into the camera stating, "I am about to perform an extreme act of protest, but compared to what the people in Palestine are experiencing at the hands of their colonizers, this is not extreme at all. This is what our ruling class has decided is normal." He then walked over to the front of the embassy of that country and then lit himself on fire in protest. Today, for the second time in 3 months, a U.S. citizen has lit themselves on
Shoot, this was the second time, bro. It's crazy, bro. All right, guys. Well, that's all we have today for the Hoolagans Podcast. Let's do a little rundown. We got into the Fannie Willis story. Apparently she's the one who's prosecuting Trump. We'll get more about that. We got the state of podcasting. We got the Harry Potter TV show. We got the Ordinary Angels movie review, Borderlands movie trailer, the Neuralink interface for your wrist, Star Wars Battlefront original series coming to console. We got the Turning Point twisting stories to fit their white victim narrative. We got Germany legalizing smoking weed in public and in your house. And lastly, we got the airman that set himself on fire. Thank you guys for tuning into the Hoolagans Podcast. We will see you next time. Please subscribe. Hooligans.